Raz Simone is a musician but became recognized as a leader of the Capitol Hill Organized Protest, or CHOP, last year in Seattle. Raz, thanks for being here. Do us a favor. What was going through your mind as you watched what was happening at the U.S. Capitol last week?
I mean, to be honest, I was I was kind of just smiling and paying attention, and I was waiting to see what people's response was going to be, because I thought it was very ironic, and I was waiting to see if people were going to call these people warlords, if people were going to um, look at them with that same light, because I had done a lot less, but people were making me into this big monster, for having a gun and just standing my ground. And then you have these people that were breaking into the Capitol building and putting their feet up on the desk and pushing people around in there. And those are nothing of what I would have been doing at all. So I was waiting to see like what would be America's response after America had hated me so much for having a gun out and trying to stand my ground, and being respectful. I was wondering what it was going to look like on the other end, and if people were going to be judged with the same weight that I received. So that I was just kind of just watching, and that was about that. Yeah, I don't agree with what they were doing necessarily, but it was it was just interesting. And then also it was one of those things where I was like, now you get to kind of see and feel how we feel, where you got different people that are very, very extreme this way or very, very extreme that way. And you can't just act like everyone, in that category is how you feel. People were looking at it like anything that anything that the left does must have to do with me. Like I'm not even a part of that, or anything that this does, has to do with that. So, just kind of seeing that and being able to, just look back and watch and see, okay, what's going to happen now? How are people going to take this? But that's
So
about that
aside
for
from the
me.
people who are, aside from the people who are watching and judging, Raz, did you have any sort of, I don't know, sympathetic reaction to the people who are actually doing what they were doing, rioting on the Capitol steps, into the Capitol?
Again, the people that were rioting into the Capitol were the people that were calling me a monster and a terrorist just for using my Second Amendment right. And so I always thought that was interesting, because I thought, wouldn't we be on the same side if we both believe in our rights in that way? I haven't done anything crazy, disrespectful, not doing anything violent. So I didn't, there's not much sympathy to have at that point. It was just like I hope that you gain some understanding and you can put yourself into my shoes, and I hope that you guys can figure out a better way of going about this, because this isn't getting the result that I think that you guys want. That's kind of how my
I got
my
about
head
a,
went.
I got about a minute or so, Raz, only. Can you just we need to get back together, and the country needs to reunite. What, do you have any recommendations, any advice for the country to reunite, to show some unity?
I think people need to leave those the extremes. I'm tired of the super far extremes. The extreme right, the extreme left. No one's listening to each other. What do you expect that you're going to get at that point? We need to leave the extreme left Nazis and extreme right Nazis. It's not gonna work in that way. Need to be able to put each other's. We need to put ourselves into each other's shoes to be able to get anything going and listen, or we're just going to be in this back and forth. And I mean, yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like people want that. They want that. They want that back and forth. They want that issue. And so um, you got to like wake up and stop just listening to that same program, using the same buzzwords. People need to get out of their vacuums. I feel like you got a vacuum on this side and a vacuum on that side. When you only have a friend group that believes exactly how you believe over here, or a friend group that believes exactly how you believe over here, you're never going to grow, and you're just going to keep on boiling on that hate that you have, and listen to that same programming, and then nothing's going to get achieved except for destruction. Pretty much, that's how I feel.
You know, that is some really good advice, Raz. I hope people are listening. I hope people understand. I hope the media is listening. You know, my industry is probably at fault for a lot of what the divisiveness that's going on in the country. The further left and the further right you push, the more audience you seem to get. And the reality is we all need to find that middle ground, eliminate the extreme left and the extreme right on both sides, and kind of find some unity down the middle. I would agree with that. Raz, always good to bring you on, and we'll have you again on soon. And let's hope some of your advice for unity is heard by America. Raz Simone, everyone.